Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Boys Club. Is it called Boys Club because my apartment looks like a boy lives in it?
I wouldn't say a boy lives in it. I would say a boy is kidnapped somewhere in here.
Boys Club.
We're everything. We're true crime. We're World Star Hip Hop.
World Star Hip Hop. We're Netflix reviews.
Stories of the day.
Boys Club.
Listen.
Yeah, do it. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. I think. No, we're not. And on Google Play. Nobody gives a shit.
Boys Club.
Boys Club Podcast. Now with 90% more sound clips of black people.
Boys Club.
Touch me, and I'll sue.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
You had one microphone.
Yeah.
You had one laptop.
Yeah, it was a MacBook Air.
It had huge issues. And you
sounded like it was gonna explode into space.
And that was when you started it. And now you've got
this.
Yeah, a whole setup. You have lighting. You have green screen. You have. But beyond the simple objects you bought, you actually started to consider those things. You care about lighting. Are you perfect at it?
Too much. So with my budget,
we absolutely budget. But every one of these things that you bought and learned to use, you built a new skill. If you wanted to go into podcast production or video production or audio production,
I could.
For small startup or for podcasts or for whatever, these are actual marketable skills that you built into yourself with your hobby.
Yeah.
And this has been an exercise in you basically having another job and learning the skills of another job. A startup frequently does marketing shit, and the ones that succeed also do marketing shit. And I know there's a lot of them that have people that know content and video.
Yeah.
And the startup world. And so you've kind of combined two skill sets into a potential great job.
Yeah. It's a wide variety, even though I'm not an expert in any one thing. But it's a wide variety.
As someone who built a career being
jack of all trades.
Every time that comes up at work, it's I have built departments, structure, policy, bullshit, so much corporate things that you have to do for your job. And I'm not really great at any job I've ever had. I'm just good at all of the job and then at the outside of the job. And so it's really worked out. Mm-hmm. I'll never specialize. I'll never be able to specialize.
And it's my hope. I have a friend who's opening a podcast studio, who's going to be doing podcasting for businesses, and he's essentially once it's to a point, you should come on. But it's not going to be to a point for a while.
No, but I get the concept and the.
It's actually going to be a physical space in Halifax where you can either go to record. So he's going to host the space. So you can either be part of the network. In other words, Intoxicated could be on their media network, even though I host it here because it's a drinking podcast and I don't want to go to just a professional studio. That said, I don't necessarily want a studio in my living room like I have now. I would much rather a 2-bedroom with its own studio.
I've also seen enough studios to know they're not sober places.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true too.
We've all watched that. Any media about a studio, it's oh yeah, I know you can get drunk in the studio. Yeah,
that's true.
I forget who it was that I was talking to. They made some comment about something the library had done here, and they were just oh yeah, that's helpful. It's you have public space. Why aren't you giving a podcast studio or media creation studio to the people in general? Because it is a good idea.
And I know that the culture link has come in, and that's a huge thing. That won't be for a while, and that is so high scale. We're talking grassroots, hobbyists, startups, And like if someone wants to start a podcast as a hobby and they only have a limited budget, there's ways you can work around that. Rent an hour of the studio, use the equipment there, don't buy your own. Like there's so many revenue models with it. You could even have a membership model where you could pay a monthly subscription and just use the space. Because me and Mark Boudreau is his name. We're saying that like even me, like where I might not go there to record, I would love to go there and hot desk with other podcasters and like go and
building a
be
community.
creative. Yeah.
Like beyond, like one of the nice things about my job is that I've seen a lot of trade organizations. Like I work in awards, so like every industry has an award, and you start to realize that the award is not just about high-fiving everybody.
Right.
The award is also about informing the community about the big thing that you did that made a huge impact, so that the entire community can learn and assimilate what you innovated and move ahead as an industry. And so any industry you can get together in a group.
Yeah.
Any goal-based anything you can get together in a group.
Yeah. And there's so many right now. There's so many podcasts in Halifax.
Yeah.
So many.
And at least 3 startups I've seen in the last year that are like big money startups.
Start podcasts
to start talking about their industry. And I made a tweet about this the other day. I said something along the lines of, like, you can't just know that your software does X. You need to know why it does X, when you would use X, and when the client would use X. Like, you have to understand their process and how their workflow is and how to apply it in.
Yeah.
And so when you start talking about that in a podcast, when you start documenting it, you get really good at your product and how it's used.
Yeah. Also, sales funnel. Because you could, if like, let's say you were someone who offered a program or offered a course, you could do a 30-minute podcast teasing out tips about something, and then at the end say, to sign up for, like, to know more about this, take our course.
There was some guy years and years back who started a blog based on his like real estate licensing. So he's getting his real estate license, and he was writing about all the stuff he was learning as he was going, just as a blog and for his own exercise. And eventually he found out people were actually using it to study and to pass. And so he monetized that content. He turned it into an actual thing. I forget what fucking book or blog I read this story on, because it was something that I learned a lot from. But it's like and I want to give a shout out, but I can't. Right. This was years back. The unfortunate part about being in anything for a really long time is things, you can't justify those. I know that a shelf life of a tweet is 2.4 to 2.8 hours, roughly.
Shelf life of a tweet? Oh, like...
How long is a tweet useful for in the timeline of your day?
Oh.
And I know the useful shelf life of a tweet, and I know how to optimize that content. But unfortunately, if you ask me why I know that or where that's from or to justify it, like, dude, I read that, like, I read that 5-6 years ago, and I've been using it ever since, and it's given me great results, and I haven't read anything that contradicts it yet. So until I read that, like an updated state of the union for whatever networks I know, then I'm not going to learn new data, but I do know that that's the correct data because I'm mostly just a pass-through.
Right.
I think most of us are just a very complex plugin that goes into Google and then creates content for the internet. Like,
so true.
I made this comment about a buddy of mine is learning Python, a development language, and he's doing it to learn how to develop because he wants to do more in that area, and he thinks it'll further his career, and it will. So he's learning Python, and he was like, I feel bad. Should I be Googling things to answer these? And I'm like, well, as long as you're not Googling the answer, that's fine. He's like, yeah, but I'm using other people's work. I'm like, yeah, welcome to development. I don't know what they did before Stack Overflow, which is a community site where we all post shit. And like the amount of time Stack Overflow has pulled a student out. But what you're learning is the vocabulary of that industry, so you can search better, and you're learning how to read the answers and understand them and judge, will this solve my problem? Right. Which is all any of us do with anything. So at that point, we're just plugins for Google that use that information to do tasks. And it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever realized. That we're just really complex parts of a program at this point.
Holy fuck, that's crazy.
And
that's a Black Mirror episode.
Every time we innovate an AI to take over that role, or we find a way to make that role quicker and easier and simpler, we've optimized the system so the system runs faster.
Yeah.
And so whatever you dedicate yourself to, which there's nothing wrong with dedicating yourself to anything, but for this podcast, you've probably researched what's programs to use, how to do it for free, how to do it for money, what tools you should buy, how to set up your room, how to set up your lights. You've literally just interfaced with Google to pull that information to learn, benefit, made you better at what you do, might further your life. That's great. However, you basically also just made a bunch of content for the internet. The internet's going to take that content and use it to influence more people into the plugin. And they might listen to this for whatever the subject matter of this is. Like if you look at Lewis Howe's podcast, he's doing a lot of like self-motivational stuff.
Love that.
Ross Simmons from here, he's usually doing a lot of like motivation and marketing, Cool Partner. Like all of it falls into a stream, but like I guarantee you a lot of that information is coming from experience that was aided by the internet's knowledge or enhanced.
It's like a circle. It's like a cycle. Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
We're in a loop, and we always are.
And for me, and it's like funny because I don't talk about work a lot on here, but like having the degree I have at the time that I got it, Facebook marketing, social media marketing was hardly a thing when I graduated from public relations. Any job I apply for that is like at all technical in social media, digital marketing, I just tried to learn it myself because I didn't learn it in 2006 when really it wasn't like Facebook ads weren't a thing then.
It was just content.
It was just like press releases and fucking
blogs. You've learned a lot of that stuff through the podcast. So like a side hustle like allowed you a medium to learn those. Also a job does. Like I learned a lot of skills on the job. I got into startup when I can't remember how old, but it was the first startup I ever worked at that was somebody else's. I worked there for 5 years. I got in there right out of graduation, so like probably 2012, 2013. I went through a business degree, entrepreneurship. I just learned on the job, and I kept asking the questions of, do we do that? And they would say, no, but we should. And I'd be like, how about I learn how to do that? And they'd be like, all right, sure. So by the time I graduated, I went from the part-time student rep at the St. Mary's, the university I was at, to 30-hour-a-week job that then became 35 hours a week. I finished my last exam at that school and finished my rep work there for them effectively because I wasn't a student anymore. And not 13 hours later was back on campus in a boardroom at that company discussing what we were going to do moving forward and what my role was, and to learn the company in a board meeting. And I had to learn all that shit on the job. So it's like, and I interviewed for it. Like there's an article in Forbes on Forbes.com, which is not nearly as impressive as it sounds. It's a blog, fuckers. They just want content. But I'm referenced in there about like letting millennials handle your content.
And letting them do things, do new things. Because not every like company culture will let you, is the problem.
Well, not every company culture will let you, but not all generations are pass-throughs.
Yeah.
Like, I remember anytime I work with someone over 50, they like discuss and they debate and they'll joke and they'll talk about something and I'll just Google it and give them the answer. And they're like, that's not what we were doing. And I'm like, yeah, but like there's an actual answer and I have it right here on my magic glowing box. But then I don't retain that information. They have personal life experience that makes them remember.
Yeah.
And there's a comic that has this brilliant joke and it's like there's no wonder anymore learning is instant, but it's not worth anything to you. So like 20 years ago, you'd be lying in bed and you're like, fuck, what was the name of Tom Petty's ex? I don't know. And you would think about this and you'd have no way of getting it and you'd wonder and you'd see this woman walking down the street in a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers t-shirt and you'd run over to her and you'd ask her and she would tell you and you had this actual satisfaction because you finally...
You worked for it.
You had a moment to get it. And also, that might be the story of how you met your wife. I'm never going to meet that woman because I'm just going to go, oh, what is that? Google it. Know in 5 minutes. Never remember.
God,
it's
that's so
instant,
true.
but it's not satisfying like most of the things we do. And so, like, technology removed a little bit of our wonder. But also, I find older people don't necessarily have the confidence in rapid learning and rapid applying of knowledge and getting to a place where it works. That's something that we do really well because we're pass-throughs.
Yeah.
And every generation after us is going to get better at that, I think. But we are pass-throughs more than any other. Like we have, I think, I've seen more people that I know than my parents knew rapidly improve their marriage through research and talking online, rapidly improve their health. On the flip side, I've also seen people rapidly get involved in a radical movement. I've seen people radically, deeply invested in things that don't bring them any satisfaction, but that they are working towards and might be a big thing. And so I find people are engaging way quicker, and we have way more polarized views, but it's because you can do it rapidly. So there's a downside to being a plug-in. There's an upside to it as well, but there's a downside to being a plug-in, and I think it's like being a grief junkie and like wasting your time caring about social issues that you can't really affect, or like and it's fine to care about that stuff and engage like I do on stuff I care about, but past a point, like how much of your life is it taking up? Like you can get sucked down a rabbit hole of an issue. Mm-hmm. Any issue. You can get too obsessed with your weight loss. You could get too obsessed with your money. Like any issue, but because you have access to the internet, you can get real into it real quick, and it can get real bad.
Oh, the internet is I have such a love-hate relationship with it. But we're gonna get into. I need to formally open this episode because we haven't yet. We've been talking for 15 minutes. Yeah, this happens every time with you. I like it though. I like actually opening episodes like in the middle of a convo because I feel like it sets the tone. We're still gonna use your fake name, aren't we? Because we have to at this point.
It's literally in my actual name's in an episode. You didn't edit it out.
Really?
Yeah, my actual name's in an episode. So
there was one that I re-edited
for everyone listening. My name is Finley.
Oh no, I don't like it. I think you should always be Mark.
Well, I can be. The only reason people is that I just talked a lot about digital life. I worked in that space, and I'm very easy to Google. You can learn anything you want about me. The downside to that is if these episodes use my real name in the descriptions, then if this shows up in the search results, that'll impact some of my relationships.
So you're Mark.
I'm
on
Mark
paper.
on paper, but I don't care if we say my name. Saying my name is fine. It's
because
just
they won't unless they happen to listen.
Yeah, and at that point, unfortunately, my name's Finley. Do you know anybody with that name? I'd love to meet them.
It's not a common name.
It's not a common name, and the problem with that is that it's really easy to control my keywords, which is great when I want to put a blog post out. Horrible garbage when I want. Like, you can go find fucking Counter-Strike forum boards and message boards that I used in, like, the early 2000s. Because there's no, like, if your name's Michael Smith, fuck you. Fuck you. With your common-ass name. And, like, no more Michaels. No more Michaels. If you're going to have a kid, to all the women out there and the husbands and the wives, the significant others, if you choose to have a kid, don't name it Michael. We have too many.
There's a lot of Andrews, too.
A lot of Andrews. There's a lot of Michaels.
A lot of Sarahs.
Sarahs, Kellys.
Also, my name is being dragged through the mud lately because Sarah is the name of that conservative person who's texting everybody. And people keep posting the screenshots of the text, being like, fuck off, Sarah. I'd rather go fuck myself with a curling iron. Like,
which I love that everyone's doing that. But the reason I'm loving it is that it's the stupidest reaction I could think of. You're messaging a robot system. No one's seeing that. Just so you know, you feel like I told them. No, that's a filter key.
Well, they're not doing it for that though. They're doing it for the screenshot to put on social media to get the likes, Finley.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. Like the only action that matters is if you can convince someone to vote another way and that you vote.
Yeah.
If you're just posting some happy, feel-good jack-off thing, what's the point? Like, you just wasted your time. Unless it's funny, and like I love a joke. The first one was funny. The second one was a little less funny. When you trend a joke, it either becomes a meme and it's universally funny and we all love it, or it's a horrible garbage meme and just no one's reading that data. Like you're doing nothing and you feel really good and you didn't do anything and you just wasted like 45 seconds of your life to write it. And then to screenshot it was more, and then to post it was more, and to engage with it was even more. And it's like you just spent so much time on one little thing on the goddamn internet. Like how
I can make the same argument for this though. Like when I post my like little clips, my little 1 minute clips.
That's to an end goal. That is a singular end goal.
That's true. I want people to watch.
That is an action in a chain. There is no chain for the action we're talking about. Other than maybe you convince someone to vote a different way, but like make a reasoned argument and talk to somebody. That's a way better way to.
I don't even think that they're doing that though. I think they're just doing it to be funny.
But it's not.
I know. Yeah.
It
After
was
a while,
funny the
it's not.
first time.
Yeah.
Some things don't get memed. Some things don't get memed. Not everything's Kermit with a T.
I posted one today, which is a guy on a computer, and it just says, "Nice. I love intimacy." And then I thought to myself, I've never summed up my life more than that picture. It's like a lone man on a computer being like, I love intimacy. And I realized recently that I'm putting a lot of personal, real human relationships at stake by doing what I do.
The podcast?
Yeah, big time.
How?
Well, I mean, like, people come, they hang out to record, but then they leave, right? And then that's it. And then they go about their lives, and they live their lives, and maybe they'll come back on again and talk about their lives. But my life becomes promoting their story.
Yeah, but that's not risking a personal relationship. That's doing something interesting.
But I find I don't do. I actually just find I don't do anything outside of this. That's really what it is.
Like if
that's
this
really
singular
what it is.
you're saying this singular activity has taken over your life, and that means that other people's lives are becoming the medium through you. I get that. But like, you want to do this, right?
Yeah.
Is there an easier way to do this that would give you a better balance? Something can get overblown in your life, and you scale it back. Like, we all get way into something, and then we're like, maybe just casual interest from now on.
Honestly, like, there is a way. It's hard to do that way sometimes when you're depressed. Like, last weekend, I lost a whole weekend to being in bed.
Yeah.
So, whereas I try to record one a weekend, maybe some weekends I'll do two.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm really ambitious, I'll do 3. But again, that's a lot on me to do 3 episodes in a week. But that means I could take the next weekend off. But only that weekend. Like, I can't get carried away and be like, I'm taking 2 weeks off. Like, it's just not a thing that can happen.
Is there something you can do to create more balance in that? Like, I love losing weight. I've lost a lot. Like, I could do cardio for 4 hours. I have done cardio for 4 hours in a night. That's not healthy, and that wasted 4 hours. Like, I was probably good with an hour if I had balanced things. So it's like, what can you do to bring this time load down?
Yeah.
Like, is it less lighting? Is it no longer a video? Like, are videos testing really
Honestly,
well so they're worth it?
I think it's just being more organized.
Yeah,
because I think, like, scheduling guests, like, you need to plan on people bailing. Like, literally, you have to plan on that. And if I'm really risking it by, say, like, not having an episode backlogged, and then relying on a guest that bails, like, I'm fucking myself over and I'm giving myself more stress. And it becomes, and it's like, I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, I do fucking love it, and I have so much fun doing it. But when you're not getting paid, like, when it's unpaid work, and you're all, like, and I'm also, like, trying to figure out my financial situation, so I'm not making any more money.
When you haven't monetized a project, it's really hard, and it's a lot of time. It's
a lot of time. And if you're just not quite on it, like, depression can take down my energy levels. It can take down my motivation to, like, actually record. When I record, I want to be like, I'm down to have fun.
You have to be on.
Yeah, I have to be on. And I'm on right now.
And that's phenomenal.
But I was not on last weekend.
Yeah. Now, what can you do? Like, what in your depression is making you do that? Like, what is contributing to, because, like, I've had depression, and for me, and yours might be a bit different. I'm not going to speak for you, but, like, my depression is very much like, there's a lot of things in my depression that if I unpack, I can start taking them down as I need to. I can take them out and lighten the load. Like, sometimes if my place is trashed and I'm depressed, the depression's way worse. So, like, to get out of the hole a little bit, I'll clean. Like, what other, but, like, it's a fucking small issue. But it might also be like, fuck, there's this client thing that I really need to make sure it gets done, and we have a week left. Can I write a document? Can I schedule, like, a couple meetings? Can I do something that lightens that burden? Yeah. And the show is also a burden, right? When I'm behind on a startup or a side project, like, if I have a class to teach for a university, like, which I've done, like, I humble brag. Thank you.
Can we ding for every humble brag on this show?
I humble brag like a motherfucker. Thank you, Ross Simmons. You taught me that one.
Can we define a humble brag real quick?
Humble brag is like,
because I feel like people don't really understand what it is.
I love humble brags because it's like a sneaky little way to mention that you did something great. And it does contribute to the story, and it does validate your information, which is why sometimes you humble brag. It's like if you have a guest speaker, they have to have a little bit of a bio, and having that little bit of a bio kind of justifies, why am I listening to this person on this topic? If you don't give me a humble brag, I don't know if you're an expert. So a humble brag can be any way of like interjecting in motion and not drawing it out and being grandiose. Like, you can brag, like, I got a Lexus, I got a Rolex. Or you can be like, oh, yeah, my dad gave me a Rolex. It was his since 1980. I'm really touched by that. Like, that's a humble brag. I don't care if it's also a touching thing that your dad did.
They can be empowering.
Yeah. And it also lets the other person know that you're not, like, a piece of shit.
100%.
Hundo. Yeah. Like, there's entire pickup theory around that, which is like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's gambits for like I'm thinking about buying my friend a gift. Like, he's a really high class guy. I'm thinking maybe like a cashmere sweater, but is that too much? Like, what do you think? And you've just generated a conversation that shows you care about your friend, you care about high quality items, they care about high quality items,
and you're financially
in a place where you can do that. So that's a fucking very well calculated humble brag. But it also engages a conversation. By the way, I used to read pickup theory in college. It's great. It's also horrible garbage. You
Did
feel
it
like
work?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. And I'm not, as we can now see on video, you're not dating this because it's pretty. You're dating it because it's a little bit funny.
You look great.
I look great.
You look great.
I look great in the way that a Lexus looks great to a fucking Toyota. Like, I look better than the Toyota, but let's be honest here. We all want to drive a Ferrari, and that's fine. But I'm a car that's got a little bit of personality.
I mean, I'm the same though. I'm not like I
Most people are the same. There's like a gifted genetic percentage, and like people that work damn hard to look good, that we're all like, yeah, I'd hit that. But like after that level, it's all like, okay, what are the details? Because nothing depreciates faster than love.
Yeah, I always say that I'm very hyper aware of my where I am on the crazy hot scale, which is that I'm not quite hot enough. You
gotta lower that crazy.
My crazy is just, and it's not by a lot, but
Yeah.
it's just slight. Where you need to be really down with my personality.
Yeah.
And if you're really down with my personality and
You'll
you think
love
I'm
this
attractive,
if you
you'll
love this
it.
personality.
You'll love it.
But-
if you have any qualms with my personality,
Yeah.
your attraction for me will go way down.
Yep.
And it's because, and now mind you, if I was hotter, if I was like supermodel hot,
Well, yeah.
it wouldn't matter as
People
much.
put up with more when you're
wouldn't
pretty.
100%.
Like, it's when you're
Sadly.
pretty or charming. I
Yeah.
rely purely on charm and brain, and I don't have a lot of it, but I do have some.
Charm is huge.
It's weird also to realize that you have any level of charm and charisma, because you always look at a lot of positive attributes you'll see really quickly on someone else. Like, we've all got a charismatic friend. We can name them right now. Matt Krieger, you're fucking stunning. Andrew Redden.
I literally was thinking of Andrew when you said his name.
Charismatic. There's a plus and a minus to being charismatic, but you can see it really easy on your friends, but like you don't realize when you have that trait. And so like it's really easy for us to have belief in our friends and to talk about that belief, but like we don't talk about ourselves. Like if I came up to you and said a bunch of great things about me, that's really braggy. But if you're introducing your friend, you can list all their great traits.
But why is it braggy?
Because it is. Like there's a Jeff Winger gives a speech in Community about like, I am clearly awesome. You now think I'm an asshole because I said that. Goes on a big speech, talks about a pencil.
Oh,
it's
yes,
a great
the pencil
speech.
thing. Yeah.
Shark Week and pencils. And
Right.
it's amazing, but it's also very true, and that's why it's amazing. That's why it's funny. It's because you can clearly see that someone is charismatic. If we know Andrew's charismatic, but if Andrew says I'm really charismatic, it's like, oh, fuck you.
But sometimes you can say it. And maybe if you don't come out and say it that way.
Yeah, the humble
But
brag.
if you're in conversation, like if we were talking about, like, say the subject of our conversation right now was positive affirmations, and I was telling you that, and because I did put affirmations in my phone recently because I found when I was feeling really hard on myself about rejection.
Spicy look.
I'm so easily go to, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not funny enough, you're not cool enough.
Yeah.
And that takes Sarah to a place that is not good. But if I look at the affirmations, which are, I'm hardworking.
Yep.
I'm fun, I'm a good friend, stuff like that, it makes me feel better. Now, but like if I were to say those things to you just out of nowhere, it would be weird.
When you're hyping yourself up, but we also have the limitations of when you should be hyping yourself up, you won't because you don't think about it or you think it's inappropriate. Like in a job interview, if someone asks you what your strength is, I can convince a lot of people of things. That's a strength I actually have. It's because I'm charismatic. I can say that now because I've practiced saying things like that and I've broken down that wall of like embarrassment.
Yeah.
But
is that what you normally say?
In an interview? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can convince people to do things, and I think that convincing someone is powerful. I can ask you to get me a coffee. That's an ask. I can convince you to get me a coffee. That's a task you're happy to do, and when you do it, you are happy. Those are two very different fucking things.
Right.
So I need to convince you of what I want.
You're trying to get them to be like, getting this coffee is going to be good for you.
Yeah.
And me. Like, I'm going to get what I want out of it. But you getting the coffee?
Yeah, when I'm selling you something, if I want to sell you $15,000 worth of web development, I can't tell you that I want to do it. I have to give you the benefits to you. And once I've convinced you to do it and you say, yes, if I've done my job correctly, you feel fulfilled and empowered because I did sell you something you need. Like, don't just sell things to be an asshole. But when I sell you something you need, you should feel good about that sale. You should feel convinced and empowered and that it was the right thing to do. Right. So I have to know what buttons to press. And, like, that requires a lack of being humble about certain things, whether it's the product you're selling, whether it's yourself you're selling. And Jesus Christ, I wish I could sell my dick like I can sell a TV. Because I can sell a Panasonic.
This goes back to the first episode you did because you made the TV reference to dick pics, which is a dick pic means dick all.
Yeah,
unless there's meaning attached to it.
Yeah, dick. Like, look,
which is so fucking true, by the way.
Guys,
so true, so true.
You're visual. A lot of people are visual, but generally speaking, guys are visual. So we like a picture of tits. We don't really care if there's a story attached to the tits. We're just like, yay, tits. And I think a lot of us do feel that way, not just dudes. But I think that it's just the case. But women want to know the context of the tits. What are they doing? Are they great? Are they soft? Are they warm? How does it feel?
What's the dick gonna do?
Attach content and substance to your dick pic in a narrative.
Yeah.
Because phone sex will teach you a lot of shit about what someone gets off on because they usually write in the self and the first. So like what the first person does and like what they then do, guess what? You can learn a lot of things from that. That's how I learned a girl I was dating liked being choked because she literally made a comment about like, I'd move your hand to my throat. And I'm like, didn't know you were into that. Just learned something. Because again, we don't ask for what we want. We don't always talk about what we want.
But holy shit, does it ever come out when someone's hand is on their dick?
And when you're typing too.
Yeah.
Like when you're actively engaged in being turned on, but you're forced to communicate your wants.
Do you think that you're better at that with typing or talking?
I think people are way better at anything when typing.
Yeah.
Aziz Ansari made a comment on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee about how like you can edit yourself. And you can think about a response, and you can just not reply as a response. Like he makes a comment about like if I message you to go on a date, you can choose to never respond to me. If it was 20 years earlier and I had to call you or see you and ask you, you don't just stand there and say nothing. You know what I mean? Forever.
I would like to do a sketch about that. Like if people acted in real life how they do via text. Yeah. Like just the idea of like me saying something to you, like, "Hey Finley, do you want to get a coffee?"
And you just don't,
or you just walk away.
Yeah. There's the one where you say it and I'm not even there. That's being left when they haven't read it yet. They haven't checked their messages.
Yeah. Like you
then there's like when they actually give you a message. Then there's when they do the 3 dots and you know they're typing. They do like one of these.
Oh.
And then they don't actually respond and they do it again and then they say something.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what the physical. Yeah, the dot, like
and
the
being left
and
on. It's one of these. It's
like
a.
And then they just walk.
Yeah, and then they just walk, or they'll actually say something, or they'll come back like a day later. But like, there is never a time when we could edit ourselves more. Like when I want to respond with something witty, when I'm trying to turn someone on, when I'm trying to convince them of something, I don't have to have an immediate good response. I have like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm way better in 2 minutes than I am in an instant because I have time to practice, to think, to poise. And I love that you just brought up Jeff's inspirational speech.
I did, because I was thinking what we could do, because I do this thing now on the pod. Where
Do you just
we
just call it
can-
the pod?
The pod. We can actually do this. I'm going to watch it. Because I don't think copyright will get me with this.
Yeah.
I think it's more so with music and stuff. Hopefully.
Let's see.
So if I do that. So see? So now it's
Oh, picture in picture.
now it's like a reaction video.
Little P&P action.
I know. I'm fucking fancy. I got this.
Again, marketable skills.
Feet.
Yeah.
No, come on, bears have feet.
We're the only species on Earth that observes Shark Week.
Sharks.
Sharks
don't even observe Shark Week.
But we do. For the same reason, I can pick up this pencil, tell you its name is Steve, and go like this.
And a little part of you dies.
Just a little bit on the inside. Because people can connect with anything. We can sympathize with a pencil, we can forgive a shark, and we can give Ben Affleck an Academy Award for screenwriting.
Big mistake.
People can find the good in just about anything but themselves. Look at me. It's clear to all of you that I am awesome. But I can never admit that because that would make me an ass. But what I can do is see what makes Annie awesome. She's driven. We need driven people or the lights go out and the ice cream melts. And Pierce. We need guys like Pierce. This guy has wisdom to offer.
The Dalai Lama and I.
We should listen to him sometime. We wouldn't regret it.
I know a lot of it.
And
I don't know all of
Shirley-
it.
Shirley has earned our respect, not as a wife, not as a mother, but as a woman. And don't test her on that, because that thing about the jukebox is way too specific to be improvised. And Troy. Who cares if Troy thinks he's all that? Maybe he is. Do you think astronauts go to the moon because they hate oxygen? No, they're trying to impress their high school's prom king. And Abed. Abed's a shaman. You ask him to pass the salt, he gives you a bowl of soup. Because you know what? Soup is better. Abed is better. You are all better than you think you are. You are just designed not to believe it when you hear it from yourself. Soup. I want you to look to the person to your left. Sorry.
It's so
look at the
true.
person sitting next to you.
So true.
Look at her. Okay.
Yeah. I want you to extend to that person the same compassion that you extend to sharks, pencils, and Ben Affleck. I want you to say to that person, I forgive you.
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
Little twerp.
Pierce, I'd like you to say, I forgive you.
You didn't say it?
I forget.
You've just stopped being a study group. You've become something unstoppable. I hereby pronounce you a community.
Oh, I love it. Should I post this in the Halifax comedy group?
Probably. Also, the reason I can mock that so well is that I've watched it a bunch because it's really
You
good.
have it like straight up memorized. Wow.
It's where do you think you learn good body language and how to do diction and talk? You listen to other good orators and you watch body language. Like,
True.
there's a lot of mannerisms I have from a guy named Ed Boolean, who does VinWiki. It's an amazing video series and startup, and I catch myself doing Ed-like things all the time because I watch them from him and I learn them from him. Like, if you rewatch enough things that convince you of things, yeah, you might learn how to be convincing. It's a learned skill. I wasn't always good at this. I mean, I've been dealing with customers since I was 6, which is really fucked up. And if you have a family business, give your kid a weekend off because that's shit's fucked up.
That's pretty fucked. But how's life been for Finley? Oh, it feels so good to say your name. Oh, God. Shut up! But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. And I was just smoking for the camera. Had to. Actually, no, life's great, and it's good that, yeah, I have no problem with you. Like, I didn't get mad when you didn't edit it. I was like, oh, yeah, fucking same. Google's not crawling audio
also,
yet.
it's like when someone's your friend and you're so used to their name.
Yeah.
Like when you're editing, even though, like, you might catch it other times, sometimes you'll hear it and you'll just be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's his name.
Yeah.
Life's great. I'm down like 40-ish pounds.
It's amazing.
Yep.
So what made you decide to do that?
I like having my dick touched more than I like a cheeseburger. I don't. Everyone's always vanity, fucking vanity. This isn't for health. Otherwise, I'd be doing it in a lot healthier way. There are different ways to lose weight, and you can fucking crash your weight if you really want to.
Yeah.
which I'm doing, and I don't care because I actually know how to correct that afterwards because I've been losing weight for a long time. Like I've
consistently.
I bounce between about 200 and 240 every year, and I have for a long time. I just realized I should go lower, and then stay there, which I know how to do because I can maintain my weight at 200, at 210, at 220. Like I know how to do that as long as I don't have like a depressive episode where I go off the rails and do a bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah.
I can maintain my weight, and now I'm the healthiest I've been in a long time. And there's a lot of privilege that comes into mental health. And a lot of privilege that comes into taking care of yourself. It's way easier to be healthy when you're rich.
Dear God, yes.
I'm not.
Oh my God,
I'm
thank
not
you.
rich, but you'd think I was an ass if I admitted.
You're well off.
I'm well off. I'm upper middle class.
You have the money to spend on it.
Yeah, I'm upper middle
Not
class.
everyone does.
Which does not mean that my money doesn't suddenly disappear sometimes. Like we all have emergencies. But for the most part, I am more solvent than most people. Hello, Kat. Hey.
I'm sorry I
How you
stepped
doing,
on you
bud?
earlier.
Yes.
I didn't mean to.
Hey.
It would be amazing if you came up on the table. Sometimes she does.
Hey. So, as Lindsay will say, there's two Finleys. There's Finley, and then there's Finley with an adorable animal nearby. A woman I dated had this this theory about there was sensitive, nice guys, and there were bros, and it was a spectrum, and you'll have different traits depending on where you're on the spectrum, and
Depending
you'll have
on your environment,
yeah,
maybe your
and
situation.
and she didn't make sense of me because I was really, really bro-y sometimes because I spent a lot of time in the gym, and I'm really new agey about some things, and I see an adorable dog, I'm just like, oh, you're so cute.
Oh yeah, the pitch goes up and you can't control it.
No, and some guys
Neither can
don't
I.
react that much apparently, and I'm like, oh no, that's adorable. I'm fucking right into that.
And you know what? Those aren't my people. I like people who can react to a cute animal because we don't deserve animals. They are better than us.
We don't deserve dogs. We deserve cats. Cats are the exact level of dismissive asshole that we deal with every day.
That's true.
That's fine.
Dogs
dogs
love us to a fault.
Dogs are a hot stalker.
That's a quote.
Yeah. I've experienced friends that had stalkers, and I've never had a stalker myself, but I've experienced people with stalkers.
Jealous.
And no, it's horrible. But
Yeah, no, I
you
know.
can make a lot of jokes about it but dogs are your stalker in that you do no wrong.
They are dependent on you.
They're
for
dependent on you.
everything. For
Yeah.
poop, for food, for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get a dog for a long time, but I would like one at some point.
I want a corgi.
I would like whatever pet I get next needs to be male so that I know what it's like to have a male need me.
In the soul. You
Zoom
feel
in
it.
on Finley's face there, Sarah. That was great.
Felt that.
So what I've come to realize is that I like being needed.
Yeah, everyone does.
And I don't usually get that from human males. So the way that I can bring that male energy into my life is by getting if I get a new kitten, it needs to be a male kitten.
I don't
and then Mindy can be a big sister.
This joke. Folks.
There's a lot for you to take in there. You need a minute.
Start playing Hello Darkness, my old friend right
Oh,
there.
I'll show you something after this, by the
Yeah.
way.
That was dark.
Oh, I want to show it to you right now because I'll forget.
That was dark enough that American police would shoot it.
I will show you something after this with Hello Darkness, my old friend, that I made that I'm very proud of. That will never be published on YouTube based on the content, but I show to people who I know that... I show it to people who know that it's funny, even though it's very self-deprecating.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't date, and we've talked about I don't.
I literally just sent a message to a Tinder match saying we should hang out soon.
Yeah, you date.
No, I don't.
No?
Not.
But you want to date.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I have an absence of dating, and I don't really care. I'm busy.
So is it the busyness that makes you not care, or do you legit just don't care?
A bunch of things in that. It's a thing to unpack.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
It's not a priority.
It's not a priority, and it hasn't been for a long time. It has been a few times in my life, and it's been I can get laid. I can do that. That's fine, and I can hang out with someone. Yeah, but you can get laid too. It's just how far down the ladder of quality do you want to go?
Not fair.
And I'm not saying that the people I get laid with are bad quality. They're great people. I adore them. I think they're very attractive. But I can also admit that I don't want that right now. Like
Yeah.
Look, sex is great. Sometimes you want more. I don't really care either way right now. I don't really want regular sex, like just sex. But I also don't want to date anybody because, like, I feel you, Tim Gunn. I feel you.
Tim Gunn?
Tim
What did he
Gunn has not had like a relationship like since the 80s, and I don't think he's gotten laid either.
Really?
Yeah, he had like a bad breakup related to them cheating, which not many people have cheated on me, but I used to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But there's like he had that falling out. He's still really in love with the guy, and he just doesn't want another relationship because he just doesn't want one. I don't. Mine's not that complex. It's just I don't really like. There's a lot that goes into a relationship. There's a lot of effort. There's like it's a project in and of itself.
Yeah, when I think about my week and I think about what that week would be like, if I had to factor the requirement to spend time with someone else, I'm like, oh shit, like whoever this is, and it's not necessarily to say that I have high standards, but like whoever this is really needs to match lifestyles with me in that they need to get that I'm going to be like during the week is my busiest time because I'm working, coming home, eating really quick, then going to a comedy show late at night.
Yeah. So
like they need to get down with that.
Yeah.
And they need to get down with the fact that I have a weird sleep schedule.
Nothing depreciates faster than love. This is a joke from a comic I know, Frank, in Toronto, and nothing depreciates faster than love. When you are young, you will go on and on about how you love someone, how they're the best, how they make you feel, how they're so magical. When you hit 35, we just become benefitless. Well, he's 30 minutes closer to work. He's got indoor parking. If I move in now, I can be on the insurance in 6 months.
We can split bills.
Yeah.
Woo,
but
disposable
like,
income.
Also in that joke, when you're younger, like you can make love about love and how they make you feel and all that. But when you're older, you've got boxes they need to check and fit into, and you can loosen that as much as you want. But for it to work, they've got to fit into a bunch of things that you already have going on.
Yeah.
Like,
what age do you think that starts? Because I feel like 30s for sure.
By 30 it has happened. I don't necessarily know if it's an age thing. I think it might just be a life experience thing. But by 30, almost everyone I know has had it happened.
Yeah.
And some people find the person that fits. Sometimes you find them before you have all the boxes and you build them together. But by 30, you've got damage, you've got baggage. You need to find somebody that has a cart sometimes. Or you need time to get over your baggage, which you can do. Like, you can put down baggage you have and lighten the load by working on yourself.
And who knows how long that will take is the problem.
And who knows that it's going to be the important baggage that messes with them. Like,
that's something I think about frequently. Yeah. I mean, like, this goes back to anxiety and depression and overthinking.
Yeah.
But I frequently hear other people's narrative of me being like, she's too emotionally damaged. Or she has emotional baggage.
Yeah, we all do. It's about finding someone that doesn't care about your specific baggage, or it's about learning to fix your baggage.
Or it's about finding someone who accepts that you have baggage and knows that you're working on it.
Yeah, but that's finding someone who has, like, complementary baggage. Like, let's be honest here, there's complementary baggage. If you're both addicts and you're both sober, that might work out. Not always, not if you're really fresh into sobriety, but you can develop a system of codependence. Like, you can, if you are fucking anything, you can connect and make it work.
Yeah.
But I will say that some people don't mesh.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't be with an unemotional dude because you wouldn't know how to respond when you're emotional.
True.
Or, like, you might need someone that has baggage around family members that have had issues.
Yeah.
And so they know that a bad depression day is just meh, it'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Not necessarily that they've gone through it, but maybe they've known it.
Like, I'm great with depression and anxiety because I've had it myself and it's been a part of my family. Like, when I dated people and they had depression, I'm just like, yeah, no, I know how to deal with this. Just like, we're good. And they'd be like, it's just so weird that you're so accepting. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, this was a survival instinct I built. This is damage. This is the product of damage. Like, if you call me most nights, my ringer is on and at a louder setting than when I went to bed, because there was a period in my life where sometimes I got late night phone calls that I had to take care of because something went wrong. And so you can always get me. I will always be supportive of people that matter.
Uh-huh.
But that's born out of baggage.
Yeah.
Like that affects my sleep. Like,
oh yeah.
But
because you're on guard. Like,
it's a product
you're
of
kind of always on guard.
Yeah, and it's way less than it was years ago. It's gotten way better. I now will frequently mute my phone, but there are some nights that weekends. Usually, I'll leave my ringer on loud just because weekends are a danger period for a lot of people, and so I don't know who's going to call, and I don't know what I'm going to have to go do.
Do you get those calls frequently?
Not anymore.
Okay, that's good.
Not anymore. No one in my life has really done anything that warranted a call in the last 5 years. But a damage.
But the call might still happen.
But it's taken 5 years for me to move that damage down to I only do it on weekends. And it used to be work-wise too. I answered 27 emails once with a girl in my bed. A woman I had just had sex with.
Yeah.
I went through 27 emails. Damage. I grew up working. There's a product of that I work all the time because that's what we did. And so working
at least
all the
it
time
wasn't during the sex.
No, absolutely. You can't do that.
At least you waited until after.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm not replying to a client during. But in all honesty, you have to have the the commensurate damage of you're fine with a guy that does that. Maybe you value work too much. Maybe you work really hard yourself. It's really hard for me to date someone. A lot of the women I've dated or been in a relationship with are master's students, PhDs, entrepreneurs, people with high-level jobs.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm attracted to powerful women because they're great. But two, I work really hard. My damage requires that because I need you to have that similar damage.
Right.
So it's weird that you start talking about your compatibilities in terms of your fucking damage, but you do if you know what you're doing.
Ooh, I like that. Have a first date and be like, "How are you damaged?"
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna ask.
How are you not asking that question?
I was just gonna ask, how early into a dating situation do you think it's appropriate to get into these deeper conversations?
That's the problem. I have never had a good I've had very few good face to face. The best relationship I've ever had was built on the phone. We talked on the phone for 7 months, calls almost every night. Mm-hmm. It's a very romantic story. It ends poorly, but it's a very romantic story, and it shows just how much of a bullshit romantic I apparently am while being a cynical asshole. And it's fine. I'm fine with it now. It's just a factor of my life. But the best parts about that relationship were that we formed inside jokes. We talked about our insecurities. We talked about issues. We talked about everything because it was way easier on the phone. And when you talk on the phone, you can't interact the same way you can in person. There's things I can talk about in this room. On a phone, you can limitedly talk about what's in front of you, but you have to talk about subjects and have depth to get that phone call to go longer. And so you talk about everything. You and you learn the other person really well, and that does form a good bond. I remember when somebody when she thought, I wonder what we think of that. We made fun of names and misspelling of names, so it was a bit of a joke. And so she read an email from a guy named Jeff, spelled Geoff. She's like, I wonder what we think about that spelling. And she was like, oh fuck, I just thought in the we. That's bad. But also we had there were little quirks that we think were funny, and we had damage from startup world where someone would be like, oh, I want it to grow viral and organically, and we'd both laugh and be like, time to take Old Yeller out. And that was the term we used for bad startup ideas that we would talk about. Old Yeller.
Take the dog out and put him down.
Yeah, and so that came from both a darkly damaged place, but also the fact that we talked a great deal, and that was the best relationship I read. It was based on the phone, and the few relationships that I've had that are typing based are really good too. Anybody that's a friend of mine from out of province, if I've been talking to them for years and it's all in written form, I've learned so much about them over the years, even if I've maybe only seen them 7 times. So there are advantages to disconnected relationships, but and also the immediacy. There's no editing on the phone. We talked about this before the show, but it's such an organic state of a person. Yeah, I have 2 minutes to respond to your message maybe, or I can not respond at all, or I can never respond is the one that never would have happened 20 years ago. If you ask someone a question on a phone or in person, there was no just not responding. Hey, do you want to go to dinner later? and then they just didn't respond to you for 3 days, they're probably right in front of you or on the phone. So like they either walked away or hung up in that instance, but you have an answer because they did that.
Right.
There's a weird factor with the internet where we have 2 minutes to make ourselves sound better and to edit ourselves, but on a phone there is no time like that.
No.
So you say expressions that you might not type out. Like one of the things that I say all the time is hot garbage juice. That's hot garbage juice. That's hot garbage.
Yeah.
And that joke I've been saying that for like 5 years, 6 years.
Can
But I
hot
don't-
garbage juice be the title of this episode?
Sure. I don't use it in the written form. I only say it.
Yeah.
And it's a deeply dark rooted joke of like period of my life and hot garbage juice being in a hot garbage room and potentially having gotten on a joint. And it's a hilarious story that cannot be told, unfortunately. But suffice it to say that I say hot garbage juice, and that joke only works with someone that has a dark sense of humor.
Right.
And
Gotta read the room.
you got to read the room, but also their damage match my damage. Right.
What are your thoughts on? So lately, well, where are we? Almost an hour in, so I think I'm safe to say this. But like, what are your thoughts on cutting close friends out of your life when they don't have the same damage as you, or they don't understand your damage?
I think cutting someone out of your life for any reason, as long as it's healthy, is good.
Yeah.
I've been cut out of people's lives for shitty things that I did, and I deserved it, and their life is probably better. I'm not that person anymore, but
you did something.
I did something.
What about
deserved it.
what if it's just literally like
No, any reason. This is
Yeah.
that's the severe one, but like I've cut people out just because like we just did not mesh anymore.
Yeah.
And after like a couple of years, I was just like, I'm working for this friendship. You're working for this friendship. This shouldn't be a thing. Or like you just don't support me in this one thing and you're never going to. I can either accept that you won't, or I can choose to distance myself from you.
Yeah,
or I
there's
can
two
modify
choices
my
there.
behavior.
Yeah.
But if they keep asking about it, then that's a problem. But some people are smart enough to go like, okay, we don't talk about that subject. There's certain subjects with certain friends. We don't go there.
Yeah.
I don't talk to Lindsay about babies.
Yeah. Unless it's on a Facebook comment. But she provoked
started that shit. She started that shit. I got her. Don't fuck around.
Have you met the baby yet, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to meet the baby. I told her 18 I will meet her kid. And I meant that. Like maybe 16 if they're cool, maybe 14 if they're cool.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in a kid other than, yeah, that's a cute baby.
Yeah.
Like, they exist. They exist.
I want to isolate that clip.
Fuck off. Like, they exist.
Yeah, they do.
And it's fine. But like, I don't have an interest. I don't want to interact. I don't want to hold the kid. I don't want to do anything. I'm good with kids. I have and I think kids are important. I think,
But that's always been a thing with
I
you.
don't
That,
want
like that's the thing with you, that if you're friends with Finley, you need to accept that and understand
I like
that.
kids.
And you can either accept it or fuck
I
off.
might like your kid. I might be and I'll always be supportive of you being a good parent, because I have friends that like they'll say something or they'll do something and I'm like, fuck, they'd be a good parent. I have never had that moment with myself.
No one's ever said that about me either.
Or me. What am I going to teach the kid to do? Roll a joint, make a dry martini? Like, that's it.
Be amazing.
That's yeah. But as for
Life
a
skills.
kid,
No, not for a kid.
yeah, like, but
But
think
think of it like a transferable skill.
Learn to roll a joint if you're in startup. Great advice. You need it. But I would be saying that to my kid at like 18.
But
and
if
be
you
like,
can teach them how to roll a joint, you
Yeah.
can teach them to do other things. If you're of the
Yes.
teaching mindset.
yes, I clearly am. I actually teach. But
So I think I think that you would actually
yeah,
be
no,
okay
like
at it.
if we're just looking skill wise, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But inclination and what do those skills apply to?
Yeah.
Like, my skills are primarily the guy before you get married. I'm fine with that. There is a freakishly high number of women I have dated that, like, the next guy is the one that they get married to. And, like, I'm fine with that. But, like, I'm not a dad. I'm not going to be the dad. I'm not... Closest I'm going to get is being daddy. Like, let's be real here. I'm not a dad. I'm never going to be a dad. I can't be a dad. I literally had surgery to take care of that shit.
Yeah,
And
listen to the vasectomy
And
episode.
I carried the receipt around for months at a time because it was funny to me.
I think you should still. Do you still have
that
it?
receipt died in my wallet.
Well,
That
yeah,
joke-
it can only last for so
that
long.
joke literally wore itself out.
Oh wow! But I get it. It's pretty awesome.
I'm committed to who I am, and I think anyone should be. If you want to be a fucking parent, commit wholeheartedly and be a great goddamn parent. And I
think
champion
Lindsay,
you to do it.
I think Lindsay has done that.
Great
truly,
mom. Great
truly,
mom.
she's perfect.
Yeah, she's a great mom. I knew that right away. I was like, you'll be a good mom.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a mom. There's some people I know that like you'd be a good mom, but you'll never be one because you don't want it. And then there's some people that like you would be a terrible mom, and you're definitely gonna be a mom. And that's true of dads
Or
too.
the best
I'm like,
combination.
oh, you're gonna be a shit dad.
The best combination is you would be a terrible mom, and it's probably gonna happen because they're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
That's the worst combination.
Yeah. The best you can hope for there is that they find a shitty dude so they don't ruin two families. That's the best you can hope for. And shitty dudes, they're shitty dudes. They're shitty everybody.
Yep, there is.
Which is weird because you can't sometimes people get mad at you when you call a specific group like shitty. Like a friend of mine is having problems with the guy in her life because they just found out a little bit disabled. And now it's the defense of like he's on the spectrum.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
And now he uses an excuse and like, you can't call me an asshole. It's because of this. And it's like, no. And the world gets mad too sometimes. And it's like, no. Like I've known enough people. Like if you have cerebral palsy, you can be a dickhead. I've
100%.
met one. I love the guy. We get along famously. And the funny thing is, he gets along with me because I won't do shit for him at all.
Right.
He was struggling to get into a chair one night. We hadn't been drinking yet, and they were at a bar. This is back when I drank, and he couldn't get into his chair right away, and like he was just shuffling it and waiting, and got into his chair. And Ben, like one of the guys, Ben, was like, "Dude, what? Like you didn't fucking help him?" And I was like, "No, he's a grown ass adult. I wouldn't help him with a chair. Like he hasn't even been 3 beer in yet. If he is 3 beer and he can't do it, yeah, I'll do it for anybody that's drunk and a friend of mine." And the guy looks at me, he's like, "Thank you. I'm perfectly fucking capable of getting a chair out for myself," and it is patronizing.
There you go. Well, yeah, because they've been doing this their whole
life. This is his life. I'm not always going to be there. And is it a nice idea if I do it? Maybe. But it doesn't necessarily mean. Like, I had a buddy in a wheelchair come and speak at a school. He's like, sometimes you want to help us. And it's like, that's great. But I don't think you're there. I don't know you're there. And someone tipped his chair because he was going through a doorway. And he knew how much force to put to get over the ledge because this is his life.
And he does
somebody
it all the time.
went to help him and fucked up his chair.
Yeah.
And, like, he fell down. And he was like, I get what the intention is. But, like, you don't understand this.
Yeah.
So, like, damage has to match damage. I know stuff about cerebral palsy because, like, dude got cerebral palsy. He told me about it.
Were you closer friends with him? Or
No,
like,
we were just casual boys. Like, I would see him at a bar for a beer with some other guys, and like, did it like 4 or 5 times.
Whenever I'm in situations like that, I always ask. Like, I'll just be like, just let me know if you need help.
Yeah.
Like, I think that like sometimes you don't know.
I don't know the etiquette.
You feel awkward.
There's an etiquette, and you can know it if you're in that world. And a lot of people get mad sometimes when you don't know their world's etiquette. But I'm sorry, I'm not a part of that world. I will learn it. I'm happy to learn it. I will adapt. I will become better. But like, don't get mad at me because I don't know yet. Because world's a big place.
There's a lot of different etiquettes.
You can be the plug-in for a lot of different things. Okay. I didn't choose that one. I don't know anything about it. I might support it. I don't give a fuck about so many issues in the world. Past, I support this, I do not support this. That is sometimes my level of engagement. You want me to vote for it? You want me to talk about it? You want me to agree with you? You want me to do small actions to get it going? Absolutely. But I'm not going to be out there championing the cause because I don't care, because I'm caring about something else. And there's other issues that you don't care about.
Exactly. We aren't like...
I have met environmental activists that care absolutely nothing about women's rights. I have met women's rights that care nothing about environmentalists. I've met men's rights activists that literally don't care about anything but their dick. Just to throw shade at men's rights. I actually do agree with some of their arguments, but generally speaking, it's just a group where angry dudes are. Don't do that.
Yeah. No.
You can care about men's stuff and not be a dick.
Yeah.
Just gonna keep doing that and selling it with the face, because the argument about like men are underrepresented in divorce, that's true, and you should say that.
What do you mean?
Men are financially destroyed by divorce and usually are restricted from ever seeing their kids, and the system is completely biased to men. That's a thing we should talk about. But when the next post down is that women are bitches that use you for money, and you say thought and all of like feminazi, like you just completely destroyed the first point that I agreed with.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to agree with you ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You can but there's in every community there's that toxicity that comes out sometimes, because when you have a generalized community you will get toxic people in it, but some are just real toxic, and you should police your own community. I have no engagement in your community, so I probably don't know about it, but
Like, can you imagine if we all cared about everything?
we would get nothing done, and there's too much to care about. You can't care about everything. It's impossible, because we live in such a big world. I could care about workers' rights in India and Malaysia. I don't know if those are bad countries. I'm just picking random countries. I could worry about workers' rights in Russia. I could worry about unionization in Canada. That's just in work vein. I could worry about sex trafficking, and I could worry about, and all of these are legitimate great things to care about. But if I cared about literally every single one of them,
You'd get nothing
I actually
done.
couldn't. I'd get to a point where I'm like, I literally can't take on another issue. There's nothing I can do. And I do see people do that in their life, and then not be able to accomplish anything.
Yeah.
I do see people that are so much grief junkies or cause junkies that they don't do anything. And that's fine. If you want to do something that deep, I would say get into that world and get a job in that world. Even if it doesn't pay that well, at least that becomes your primary cause. But I've also seen people failing at a lot of things because they care about the wrong things. I've seen people with businesses that they cared about too much not maintain their life. I've seen, people that care about work too much and disregard their health. It's a balance. You only have so much time. You only have so many hours. You only have so much brain. There's only so many things you can focus and care on and do well at.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with picking any of them. But generally you should also just agree when it you don't care, but you agree. Hey, this thing. I'm like, yes. That yes is all you're probably gonna get from me. But when it becomes an important yes,
I'm getting a weird message, so I'm just going to.
You're running out of dick space.
Dick space! I'm just gonna do a quick pause. Constant tech struggle doing a video podcast.
Yep. But again, you learn real skills, so your side hustle is relevant, because side hustles are incredibly important to me, clearly, as a subject, because I did a lot of them.
Well, getting the new computer was definitely the right choice.
Yeah,
it's
life-wise.
I also need to upgrade it. I think I need another terabyte. Just to
get the largest physical disk size you can get.
For in the computer or an external?
No, external works too. It's really just a difference of connection. It doesn't really matter. But if you connect it internally, it's just harder to get out. I would say you should start archiving with larger hard drives, and then once an archive is full, you just move it to a shelf. Because I just saw you delete a bunch of files. We don't know if those are ever going to be needed.
They won't be.
Yeah.
And, well, the good thing is that if I'm done with a video, even if I don't back it up, it's on YouTube. I can re-download it.
Yeah.
Provided that YouTube never crashes.
Yeah.
Same with my audio episodes. They're all on Libsyn. So if I happen to delete
the
MP3 of a past episode, which I'm never going to use it again.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Yeah.
I can go back and find it. So long as those systems don't.
Yeah. You're fine. You're fine.
That's what I'm thinking.
The internet's timeless.
And also there's this thing called Backblaze. Have you heard of Backblaze? It's like a cloud storage thing where it's $9 a month and it will back up your whole computer.
Oh, that's worth it. Also, just love one topic real hard. You ever realize that if the internet went down tomorrow, we'd lose almost all of our knowledge?
Yeah, it's scary.
Knowledge has never been more fragile. We used to have books.
Yeah.
A fire destroyed the books, but there might be another copy. If the internet was ever gone.
Have you seen Twitter when Instagram goes down?
Hilarious.
Because it is. Wow.
I work in software. I've seen my work when Azure, the cloud server, goes down. I've seen my work. I've seen all internet work when AWS goes down, and Twitter's down, Slack's down, Intercom's down. Every tool, your own server might be down. I've been an online worker. We have a redundant Gmail set up, so we'll go there. A bunch of us have each other on Facebook, so we'll start messaging on Facebook to get work done.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever we have to do to keep going until it all goes down.
Yeah.
I've told clients before, they're like, hey, it's down, and they're mad, and they think it's our fault. I'm like, actually, 10% of the internet's down. You might see this on the news later. And they're like, oh, this is not your fault. We're good. And I've never had a client be like, that's unacceptable. They'll just be like, oh, so the world,
Internet is
this
down.
is a world issue. I'm like, yes, 10% of the internet might be gone right now.
You know what I do as soon as I notice that the internet's not working? I make sure I paid my bill.
Yes. I play the little T-Rex game first.
What's that?
In Chrome, when you have no internet, you know that dinosaur appears?
Yes.
If you hit the spacebar, there's a game. You make the dinosaur jump trees and birds.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Little game.
And that's if the internet is down?
Yep. And I'll play it on airplanes sometimes. I'll open my browser.
How does that work if the internet is down?
Because it's just stored in the browser. Like, I'll just, like, load the game and do.
Oh
It's like
my
the internet's not here, so
gosh.
the dinosaur's there. And as long as the dinosaur's there, you can hit spacebar. Google has put so many little games. There used to be a block crusher game in Gmail for like a day.
Really?
In calendar. So your calendar objects would become falling things, and you had to shoot lasers at them to destroy them. That was there for like a day, and it was lit.
I love that.
Google hides all little jokes. Like if you write recursion, which is a software term for when things keep happening in a row, like recursion, like your loop is caught.
Yeah.
If you type recursion into Google, it asks, "Do you mean recursion?"
Yeah.
And it's the exact same search results.
Yeah.
If you type askew, Google loads slightly askew. Sometimes during the year, if you type like frost or winter, usually there's a special keyword, it'll start to like snow on your search results.
Damn, I am like so curious now.
Yeah, a lot of them are inbuilt to Google, but some of them used to be done by Google bombing, which is where you would create enough results and things in the Google pattern history that it would auto-direct somewhere. So like if you typed biggest moron in the universe, it would go to like George W. Bush when you hit I'm feeling lucky.
Oh, yes.
And that was a user injected. And so there's also ways to do that with Google's image results. So if you can get enough keywords associated with an image like moron, it might show President Trump.
Let's try it.
And if you go to image search, yeah, so there's one politician, and then there's Trump, and then there's Trump again.
Yeah.
And then, so like, it doesn't always, like, not all of it works, but like, you can get them up high enough.
They did that to the writers of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
when
probably.
people were pissed off at the finale.
Yeah.
Like, if you typed in bad writing.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm curious. I wonder if it's still.
If you look idiot,
shows.
second image result is Trump. And so this is something that users generate to, but like back in the day, you could take a conscious effort and get it to work. And you can't as much anymore. But Google, if you type askew, A-S-K-E-W.
And just regular search?
Yeah. I think that's how you spell askew. It's been a while.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god, nothing pisses me off more than shit like that. That would drive me crazy.
And if you type in recursion.
Oh god, how do you spell that?
Yeah, the first word. Do you mean recursion? Same spelling. Forever. Google made a recursion joke on the recursion search result.
Shut up!
Yeah. So there's little
love
jokes like
this
this in Google all the time.
love that.
Yeah. So like there's a bunch of them. You can I don't know if any of the winter ones, some of them are just seasonal.
Yeah.
And I don't think these are the right words for it. But if you
Right.
type in like Google search jokes, might pull this up. Yeah, Google Easter eggs.
Steve Irwin? What are you doing? What?
Okay, so some of these might be the Google Map jokes. Some of these might be the Google Map jokes. So like there's sometimes jokes in Google Map, like people planted at locations, or there used to be one in the UK. There was the Doctor Who phone booth and you could go inside it.
Oh, wow.
So Google hides Easter eggs in all their stuff, and then there's like search ones like recursion.
I love that. I love shit like that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And then there's user-generated ones, like there's people that see the Google car and moon and then look for themselves and they find themselves.
Ah! Wait, Google car where?
Like if you see a Google car driving around, like that does street mapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, people see those and do stuff.
Oh my god.
Like there's been robberies caught on it. There's been people mooning. There's been people on Reddit in Halifax that find themselves in it and post it on Reddit, and then that becomes content.
And sometimes they might not see the car.
Yeah.
But they're just happen. Oh my god, that's crazy.
So there's a lot of like little weird, interesting
How
things on
often
the
do they
internet.
update that Google Maps?
Cannot remember. I don't know. But I've seen the car like at least twice in my life.
Really?
Yeah. And I know that it
What a
exists
job that
because
must
if
be.
you search your parents' house on Google Street View, you can see your parents' house.
I don't know. I don't think mine shows up.
And I know that it's a couple years back since they last did my road because my dad's old truck is in it. He doesn't have that truck anymore.
Oh yeah?
So like the green truck is in front of our house. So if you hit Street View, yeah.
So see, mine's not on it.
Oh, okay, so you might live somewhere they haven't been yet.
Yeah.
But
Out in
like,
the boonies.
I'm not going to say my parents' address, but
No.
yeah.
Interesting. Oh, the internet.
I know, right? It's fucking weird.
I recently took a break from it. Well, 48
Worth it.
hours.
It's worth it. Unplugs are a
Less
good
than
thing.
it was
Yeah.
less than 2 days.
But they're important. I frequently uninstall social networks from my phone. I frequently turn them off. I have to. The only thing I really don't turn off is Messenger, and that's because I have friends I talk to on there.
Messenger is a tricky one. Would be a tricky one to get rid of.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't really.
You
yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah. Most people I talk to is on Messenger. And oddly enough, then there's like other friends that's like only Instagram DMs, and I'm hoping to like navigate those people to like another platform because it's not the best messaging platform.
It's super not, and because it doesn't have a web client, and they're
No.
looking at bringing a web client. I know that because I used to work in that world. But most Instagram communities are run on like other applications like WhatsApp, and there was one I used that had groupings, but I can't remember the name of it. So
Yeah.
Instagram influencers have secret groups that you don't know about.
Oh, that's crazy.
That we
Ooh,
all connect and we all conspire to share things, and we all work on like an independent vein. Like, so you connect with another Instagram influencer or account type, and then you form a partnership, and they ask you if you're on a group, and there's whole groups of influencers in each space that talk to each other and will influence
And that's their
share
job.
cross-pollinate posts and talk about product deals and placement deals, and it's all usually run off Instagram on like a secondary app because the Messenger isn't that great. So
Holy
when
crap.
I did entrepreneurship, one of the times I did an entrepreneurial thing, Hustle and Grind, we were part of a bunch of chat groups with other influencers in the entrepreneurship space, and we got our content shared by, and like sometimes it doesn't always matter. Like sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it gets you a lot of views. We had big names in our space that would share
Really?
our content. Yep, and it mattered. We
So
got
when
an
you say
image.
share your content, is
So,
that
they'll
repost?
they'll repost your content, or you'll make a deal. We'll shout out your account with one of your images. You shout us out. It cross pollinates our follower base, so we get some of your followers, you get some of our followers. And in that case, sometimes you might have to pay, or if you're the same size account, maybe you can trade, or you can work out like 4 posts for 2, or like different kind of transactional deals, whatever you
Right.
can to get the deal done. And yeah, whole niches exist like that.
It must be stressful though, like relying on likes and engagement like that.
Well, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Like I can make you like something because it feels good, or I can make you like something because it feels good and will sell. It's hard to do both, but you can do both. I mean, reactive storytelling is a concept where you make something like rather quickly as a reaction to what's going on in the world. Oreo made a joke when the lights went out at like a football game, and it did very well. Like reactionary storytelling does very, very well, and
It does. And reaction videos.
Reaction videos is a bit of a different vein, but yeah, same concept.
Same idea. Like if a music video comes out, if you don't do a reaction video within 24 hours of that music video, it's probably gonna be irrelevant.
Yeah. And it used to be, I remember when YouTube first was doing stuff like that, they used to post reaction videos to things in little sub images under an image or under a video. And there became I think they were called reaction video girls. And they always made sure they had cleavage in the shot. And it would get more traffic, obviously.
Yeah.
And so the joke became that cleavage was important to your thumbnail.
Really? Oh, I want to test this and do a reaction video with cleavage.
And
it
doesn't, I mean, it's still, all internet media has some version of like self-prostitution, whether you're a guy or a girl. I think guys are easier to get into that. So generally you see more women doing it. But yeah, it changed how they displayed videos for reactions, and now reactions are independent videos that you would search for, and they still have a thumbnail, and thumbnails still do well based on their content and if it looks engaging, and there's a whole art to making those so that they convert, but they can be done in many styles, and one of them for reaction video used to be cleavage. I don't know if it still is. I haven't maintained any knowledge of that space since years back.
That's interesting.
But yeah, so like there's a whole world of influence and engagement and marketing styles in that no one really looks at. Like if you look at video game or YouTube, like you'll see a very specific style a lot. You'll see like a game shot, maybe their head in it, and then like a huge like written title that
Yeah.
might be different from the actual title. It might be the same as the actual title.
Yeah.
But it's another way to engage you. And back in the day, Instagram used to also have like locations that you could write anything in, and it didn't auth anything. So people would frequently use it as another way to put another line of marketing in. So we would write something that was engaging in that location, and it would also be there. And then they eventually caught on and changed it. So like I at one point made $2,000 in a month off Instagram.
How?
You can't do it anymore. Not the way we did it, because the algorithm has changed and everything is different.
How'd you make money then, though?
We were selling ebooks for pay what you want. We were selling an ebook that we made.
Was free an option?
Free was an option. Yep, and we made $2,000.
And people still paid.
Yep. One guy paid $100.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, like,
because
so,
I would always be the person to pay.
And you can't do it as much anymore. Because they changed the algorithm. But we would basically post about the product, post some content about the product, put a link in the bio, drive traffic to link in bio, say it was free or pay what you want, and we would write different copy to see which converted better into money. And people would click on it and they would download the book. And if they liked it, sometimes they paid, or if they paid up front, that was also fine. And we were probably selling like 4 or 5 different books at one point, and different ones were, you know, doing better than others, and some made more money than others. I know that my partner still uses one that he had before I came on. He wrote that one, and it was like 60 side hustles to make money.
Yeah.
And we did that pay what you want for a while, and yeah, we made probably like $500 off that book in like a month, 2 months. And that's not amazing money stretched over 2 months, but it's money that you're making that all you had to do was develop an Instagram account and get followers that were on your brand. So that's influencer marketing, and that's kind of like marketing on a vein, or like I don't necessarily sell that stuff anymore because I find the space very busy. In the business influencer world, like we've all probably seen consulting.com ads or drop shipping ads on YouTube.
Yeah.
That whole world, a style of marketing is a thing like that I do know decently well. Like I know about the tools that they use. I know the landing page tools that you can use. I know how to use them for regular marketing, for influencer marketing, for personal branded marketing.
Mm-hmm.
All of them usually based on monetization of something.
Right.
But yeah, like I it's the same marketing that works for the guy walking on the beach, telling you how you can work less and make more and be your own boss. Like that style of ad.
Do you respond well?
I don't, but that's because I know how it works.
Yeah, no, I know.
I go, oh, another one, and I'm betting if I click this, it'll take me to a landing page, and I'm betting that landing page is going to be made by this company, and I'm like, oh, yes, it is.
It's crazy.
Like I remember all the tools. Like I was. Have you ever gone to a blog and it's like add a notification on your Chrome? Yeah. I started using that 2 months after it released.
Right.
I had the better version of it. There was a secondary version. You had to install a file that would make something like a browser native one. So we did that because it worked better. We had that before most sites had that. I know how to do those, like, you know, those really annoying, like when you go to a site and there's like a full page ad before you get to the content. Yeah, I know what tool that is, and I've used that tool, and I know how to use that tool correctly, not always used correctly. I know how to use all of those, and I remember how they all work. And when I'm targeted by stuff like that, I can usually guess or not be surprised when I hit that page and go, yep, I remember that tool. I remember how that tool works. We used it for a slightly different purpose, but I know how you're using it, and I know how you're driving that traffic. I know how you're trying to create urgency with a countdown timer. I know how you're trying to, you know, make it seem very pressing that this occur in the video. I know that the video is probably aligned right with a sign up button aligned left. I know that it's probably a very long page, what I would refer to as a super scroller with multiple points of ingress the whole way down the page.
Right.
Yeah, I can usually I can draw them. Some like
that's crazy.
Like I know what those pages look like and I know that they're all templates.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the same template used by other people, and that template must be converting particularly well at that point with that user base. And that's just like the information selling area. There's also influencer marketing for like products and stuff, and I've done that as well.
Man, it's just like I don't know how they like their whole life is Instagram. And I get overwhelmed with it just doing this podcast and having to post frequently. Yeah. Like, it must just be, yeah, granted, I guess I gotta consider too that like this is their full-time job most times. So this
not
is,
always, and sometimes
not always.
and also like it's very fake. Like it is theater in some ways. There's an Instagram influencer that an article came out about him that his mom was working like 2 jobs to pay for his lifestyle.
So was that?
So it was like
was his
fake.
lifestyle like equipment,
tattoos, and travel, and beaches, and living that like influencer life, and
just to
then
get
you find out that it's completely fake. Like I've taken like I know marketing people that will retweet things at a conference that they're not at, so that people think that they're there, so they get traffic, and they use the hashtag, and it's a great way to get influence, but it is sometimes disingenuous. It is sometimes fake,
and that's what
people don't
takes
see
me
that.
out of it. Like as soon as I see sponsored or like whatever, like I'm usually taken right out of it.
I prefer to see sponsor now. I want you to tell me that it's sponsored, because when you don't tell me it's sponsored, that's worse.
Well, but what about if someone, like, let's say someone has a platform with a following.
Yeah.
Like, let's use YouTube as an example. If they do a YouTube video and they, like, happen to mention a product and literally it was not sponsored.
That's fine.
I like that better.
If you are going to do sponsored content,
oh, you should say that.
You have to.
Yeah.
In some places, and you should definitely, and it makes it more genuine because you can say, look, this is sponsored, but I also get to pick and choose what I do sponsored deals on. I chose this one
because I really like
it.
Yeah.
And then there's some influencers that just they hot crap. But there's some that are great. There's some that develop their own product. Adam, I can't remember his last name. I think it's Italian, and I'm bad at remembering last names. Alpha M on YouTube. He's a men's YouTuber about style and fitness and lifestyle and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
He does reviews of all kinds of products for guys, and he did like moisturizer and skincare. He then came out with his own line on a subscription block platform called Tiege Hanley that does quite well. And so he was able to take his influencer space and build a product that fit the space,
right,
and would allow him to still carry on his content. And in the regular, he's like, I care about skincare so much. Here's the different price point review, but also I have my own that I didn't price out the cheapest, but I think is really good, and I also systematized it. And so he was able to analyze his space and come up with something that would be a product in there. Like that's very similar to the concept of selling merch. I'm surprised more places aren't selling merch, because merch is really easy to do. It's mostly just file uploads. Like if you wanted to do Intoxicated merch, I could set up a store that pulled in the Printful API and would send orders from a WooCommerce site to a company that would get the money, and they would take their percentage of the money and they would do all the shipping for you. I've done that.
I was wondering about how
that's very
podcasters
easy
do
to
that.
Very easy to do.
So would you, like, let's say I'm selling an Intoxicated t-shirt for $20.
Yeah.
How much, like, do I get any of that money, or does it
yes,
all
you do.
go?
It depends on how you price it. It depends on how you do a lot of things.
Right.
But you can build, say, a Shopify site, which you shouldn't, because it'll cost you more money at this point, but you could do commerce for free, and you could pull in the Printful, I think still does it, API. I haven't done this in years. And they give you a template of how big your design needs to be and how it'll fit, and they show you a mock-up. And you might want to order a couple samples, but generally they're okay. They're not amazing, but you're pricing them accurately. There is a Canadian company, I think, that does it. I can't remember the name. Printful's American, so you have to charge in US dollars or pay something and blah blah blah. But yeah, you can do it, and there's like cheaper options, like I think Zillow is another one. I might be using the name wrong. But there's low cost ones, there's high cost ones. And generally speaking, you're outsourcing, you're taking in less money, but you don't have the financial burden of carrying those products.
Right.
I know a girl who makes like $1,000 a month some months of the year by selling t-shirts, books, book templates, coffee mugs on Amazon. She makes designs in Photoshop. She loads them to Amazon. Amazon makes all the products.
Oh my God, cool.
Yeah, and she'll do variants, and she's learned basic level scripting in browser so that she can automate uploads of files, and it'll work through like a CSV of this, and it'll port it all over and run. And, yeah, so you can start to bot it. You can make it quicker. Specifically, if you're like scaling up a lot of things.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so like again, you can do that with merch very easily. Yeah. You make less money. okay, and you're selling through another company and not your own, you have less control.
But it's less of your time.
Less of your time, and it's something you can set up
You'd
in a
still
weekend.
make some money.
Yeah, set up in a weekend and you can still make money.
And you can always change it.
Yep, just like ebooks. You could write an ebook on how to set up a podcasting studio, and you could put it up tomorrow for pay what you want, and you could start working towards being an influencer in the space. You would write 5 tips for production issues.
I already have that on my blog for free.
Yep,
Fuck.
but you can make all of those posts, and you use the posts, and you share the posts as content that gets them in, and then you sell them a larger piece of content, or you give them a larger piece of content as a trade for information. So if I wanted to make a 20-page ebook, I might not charge you for that. I might make it pay what you want. I might give it away for free, but I'll give it away so I can get information from you, that information being your email. When I have that email, I can put you into a drip campaign. With a drip campaign, which is ongoing and persistent emails, I can send you an email a week to drive you towards a product purchase. Maybe you buy that product in week 1, drip campaign goes away. Maybe you don't. Maybe you put it in a cart and I continue to market to you. There's a million little ways that you can build this so that you get something, or you're gaining something. You can sell it for a fee. And you start using your platform. Essentially, your platform, the thing that you're doing, becomes a secondary thing. Like, so Intoxicated becomes one part of your brand, and your brand is also an expert podcaster who built her own following.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. You spin that enough, you lie enough, you can become an influencer in the space. Maybe you have enough actual success, you can become an influencer. But also, you can say, like, anybody that is under you, okay, anybody that's less experienced than you will view you as an expert. And so you are actually an expert only to a point. You're a micro expert, essentially. And so you can lead people up to your point, but hopefully by the time they get to your point, you've moved ahead again. There's men's fashion influencers that do YouTube videos that will show, how to put an outfit together, how to wear rings for men, what those ring meanings, like what rings work well, how to combine metals, how to build an outfit around a single accessory. And they may sell you, okay, they might show you a featured ring from a company that sponsored the video. You're getting a lot of useful information, but you have a product deal in there. So maybe it's sunglasses. Maybe it's an inorganic one that doesn't fit to your content. It's just a brand deal. You find an online company that's doing sunglass sales and you make a deal with them. You'll be our featured advertiser for 2 months. You give me a referral code. Any sale that you get from my referral code or my referral page, I make 5%.
Right.
Something like that. Dollar Shave Clubs does it. Audible does it.
I would love for something like that.
Yeah, but there's lower tier ones of those. There's men's ring companies. There's shitty jewelry shops. There's Shopify pages. There's any small micro brand, someone drop shipping. Like, there's a lot of ways that they're trying to move product, and you can make money if you are making them money. And that's affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is an entire world of money. I hate it a lot, but it sometimes really works. And if you're giving me valuable content, right, or you make your own content that becomes the product, or you make a product, that's how you can sort of monetize being an influencer. A lot of influencers also trade their time for space. So, like, I'm an influencer, I have so many followers, give me 36 shirts for free and I'll sell them and it'll expose your brand, or let me take photos at your resort, I'll stay there for a day. Sometimes that doesn't work. I've seen influencers with millions of users fail to sell 36 t-shirts, but I've seen coffee cup sales generated by an influencer. Because I literally had it work. I've seen a lot that work and don't work. I've seen some places that are firmly against it. I've seen some people that try and rework it to a referral deal. Some influencers don't get the business and they're saying, I want X, Y, and Z, and I will get you whatever. If you build into the deal that you don't get anything unless they get anything, then you have a higher chance of getting the deal with a lower level brand because you're outlining how they're going to do it, or you're finding brands that already do it.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole market of that, and there's chat rooms for it, there's subreddits for it, there's mastermind groups. Mastermind groups are a great way to build an audience because there's a concept called 1,000 true fans. I don't need millions of fans to get rich. I only need 1,000 people to give me $100. Then I'm rich. So at that point, you have 1,000 true fans. So you need to generate the 1,000 true fans. So you're not really looking at getting a mass of users. You're trying to monetize the users that you can get. So you build an influencer group or a Facebook group, a mastermind group on any topic that you think is centered on what you do, and you get them to engage. You invite people to it. You say it's a closed group. They get something for going there. Maybe it's a free course or a free ebook. You get them into that platform. They can discuss the idea. They have touch time with you. You can do AMAs. If you're enough of an authority in, say, the marketing space, you can say, make a post, I have 20 minutes. Tell me your small business concerns, and I will help you. And I can answer questions for 20 minutes. That just just generated content for the group, meaning that you can go to that group and you can learn things on that topic. So you can building the community while building the content, and while you do this, you can monetize by selling ancillary products or just finding some way to monetize those fans.
And there's nothing, and I should say too, there's nothing wrong
If
with
you're selling a real
monetizing
thing.
a passion
No,
project.
if you're
I feel like
giving something real.
I feel like people sometimes think you're not being authentic if
Yeah.
you, and it's like, for me, like, I want to make money to put back into this.
Yeah.
Like, and yes, it would be amazing if it got successful enough to where it would be disposable income or it would be additional income for me. But like, I want to get a DSLR camera. I want to get a Zoom recorder. Like, there's all these things I want to get. That shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
If you want to make quality content, it's not cheap.
No. And let's just also, like, really enjoy the fact that, you know, honesty is important. If you can fake that, you can fake anything. And that's partially what authenticity is. Like, manufactured authenticity, anytime you watch a YouTube video and they're like, shout out to Beard Army, smash the like button, hit the notification, leave a comment. Like, that is manufactured authenticity. You're creating an in-group, out-group theory when you give the name to your fans of Beard Army. You are then making them look and believe into that. You have increased the chance that they'll buy merch to identify with their in-group more. They will now push the in-group motive to more people in the out-group. You've told them to take a few small actions, and you've given a benefit to them, but you've also shown there's a benefit for you, but you've asked them to engage. If I ask you to engage in any way, that might feel good. That might feel genuine. If I go to the comments and reply to your comments, I'm again giving you more incentive to give me comments because I actually engage. I'm a YouTube influencer that you can get a hold of in a certain space for a certain length of time. That drives quicker comments because I only comment back on new videos, meaning that you want to get there early and often, which means you want a notification. So you now have a notification so you can be the first to comment, so I'll reply to you.
Because people love being the first to comment.
Yes, but sometimes it's...
It's
a bragging point, but sometimes it's like they'll type first. Sometimes they get there just to ask the influencer a question with a greater % chance that you respond.
It's like responding to a celebrity's tweet as soon as they post it.
You have way better chance. And sometimes I bank on being funny. Funny is hard. I'm followed by Kim.com, a New Zealand billionaire or millionaire that is big in the tech world, who is currently in a huge legal battle with the U.S. government. At one point, he only followed 5,000 people. Now he follows something in the 20,000 range, I think. But when he only followed 5,000 people, I was one of them.
Wow.
Because I made Kim.com laugh.
Yeah. What did you say?
I have no clue. This was years back, but it actually came up 2 years later in an interview.
Really?
I was in a job interview, and I had connected with one of the guys that was interviewing me and one of the women that was interviewing me, and the guy sent me an email to say, hey, I have to ask you a question. It has nothing to do with the job interview. I was like, sure. And he goes, how did you get Kim.com to follow you? And I was like, oh, I made him laugh. That's all I did. I've gotten a tweet back from Ice-T.
They saw that he was following you.
I got a tweet back from Ice-T. Like, Ice-T thought it was funny that I said something. And, like, I remember
it's such a great feeling.
I was in bed with someone,
feeling.
and they were like, oh, how was your day? And we talked, and we were just about to go to bed. I was like, oh, yeah, Ice-T tweeted me back. And she was just like, how did you not lead with that? How is that not the opener of your day? And I was like, fair, I guess. Yeah, sure.
It feels so good.
But that's, again, that's manufactured authenticity. Even if it's authentic, you're replying back. You're making authenticity. You're making it feel real. You're making it feel like there's a connection. You're strengthening the bond. And that is part of influencer marketing. And some people build it to be influencers, and some people are just influencers. If you watch Entourage from like 2007, 2006, Vince gets his party sponsored by Turtle goes and gets Vince's party sponsored by like Sky Vodka and all these brands to get a ridiculous party, and he has to take like a photo with a Sky Vodka bottle at his birthday cake when the candles are still lit before he blows them out, and that's a traded shot. That's influencer marketing back in 2007. That is what that was.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have always done this, and it's just now that regular people can become an influencer by virtue of being an influencer. You used to have to be important, not necessarily. There were some people that were just tastemakers, but it's hard to just be a tastemaker. In a digital world, it's way easier because you can target people. I can use hashtags to make sure that I show up, and that's why influencers will also use motivation as a big thing. So like if you look at an influencer, they will have posted content that is making them money. They will have shots of themselves doing something that justifies their influencer stake, but they will also have feel-good motivational bullshit that they'll then use hashtags in those spaces to get new followers from the motivational world.
Oh gosh, it's crazy.
So like
yeah.
that, and you can do that with multiple genres. That's just one example, but you can do it in the fitness world. You can do it in the content world. You can do it in the marketing world. You can do it in a bunch of different worlds. Just control the hashtags, make the content relevant. And so by expanding the brand of what you do, you can sometimes bleed into other areas. And as long as it's true to your core message, you can get away with it. And so
Right.
that's a big part of influencer marketing that most people don't know. And I really didn't think I talked this much about work.
I love it.
By the way,
You're
this
getting
hasn't
a
been my
free-
job in years.
Yeah,
Years.
I know. Well, it's interesting what you're saying though, because recently, and specifically, and I mean, YouTubers, I guess, are influencers in
Yep.
a way, but recently a famous gamer YouTuber committed suicide, and he uploaded an 8-minute video before he did,
Yeah.
talking about how much social media got to him and apologizing and all this. And it's just insane to me how stressed out and depressed YouTubers are, because it's such a hard, I think it would be a hard thing to do, to constantly be on, constantly creating things, constantly go. And the mental health that must go into that. Whew.
Yeah, and how often do you record a week?
Well, I mean, I should be recording once or twice.
But let's
a
be honest
week.
here. Like, there's stress in anything you're doing.
Yeah.
The stress of celebrity is the cost of what you are doing. The risk of celebrity is the cost of what you're doing. I don't do a lot of personal branding things for myself. I know how it works, and I'm decent at it. I can tell you how to build a personal brand, and I can show you the tools to do it. I worked in a business where my partner wanted me to become more of a personal brand, and I said no.
Like
I
branding
don't-
yourself, like,
yeah,
as
I don't really like being a concept of an influencer. I've never really liked the idea. I never wanted to put my own personal branding out there other than
Yeah.
content as related to what I thought. But beyond that, I didn't really care. And I don't think you should. And I think people do, and that's fine. They make money from it. But I have no interest in it. Also, like, my life isn't that great. Like, I've been an idiot sometimes. Like, the last thing I want is to become an influencer. Like, let's be real here. We all have skeletons in our closet. The bigger a brand you get, the bigger the risk of your life being destroyed by something that you did. And that's a cost of you having done the thing.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. But also, the internet has a long memory lately. And they're going back to, like, 2006, 2007 and finding tweets from current artists and then getting mad. It's like, you realize those people aren't even alive anymore.
Yeah.
Like, those people, they're dead, effectively. They are a completely different person. It has been years. They
Yeah.
have, like, go back and watch Eddie Murphy's Raw. I think it's the Raw special, where he says faggot, like, 20 times in the opener, or, like, just ridiculous times. And it's so denigrating. And it's like, yeah, this is horrible. But do you think he would say that today? Do you think he even believes it today? They're completely...
It's a different
Neeson
landscape.
got in trouble for admitting to having a racist thought.
Right.
Like, one of his friends got hurt by a black guy. He, like, had this thought in his head he was going to do something about it. And he was, like, genuinely in an interview. He was like, I was racist. I realized I was being racist. And he's like, and that's wrong. Yes, that's a powerful story. You have just said that you can come back from racism, and that racism is a wrong thought, and that you need to work on it, and you need to be a better person. That's a great story. People got mad at him for having had a racist thought. Fuck you.
Yeah, this is the
Fuck
fucking day and age that
you.
we're in right now, and it's
People
insane.
got mad at Good Robot.
Oh, yeah, fuck that. What the fuck? Yeah, what is going
Good
on with
Robot
that?
is the most liberal bar I've ever fucking been to, and I like that it exists in the community.
Yeah.
And you want to get mad at them because one bad thing happens? You can't have one strike in this world? Fuck
They
you.
didn't do anything wrong, though. From
They
what
did
I
nothing wrong.
From
They
what
did
I
nothing
understand
wrong.
of the situation.
And it's like, even if they did do something wrong, you're going to get mad at a business for one thing.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Ignore a whole track record, take nothing of context, and that is the outraged society that we live in. And it was funny to see it happen at a bar that, in my opinion, is one of the most liberal leftist hotbeds in the city. And I say that, and I'm liberal, but it is, like, call it what it is.
Yeah.
It is that.
Yeah.
And it's the snake eating itself. Don't eat yourself. Like, you admit that there was a problem. You maybe make a comment. You hopefully they change, but you don't get that level of outraged.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fuck. Well, the idea too of, like, I've spoke openly about mental health on social media, and so for whatever reason, I now feel the need to talk about it because I've already gone there. Like, I went there.
Yeah.
People view me in that way.
Yeah.
They have their opinion of me.
Yeah.
I've lost friends over it.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's this weird thing where, like, you know, like I'm on the wait list for therapy. So I did an Instagram story being like, oh, this is fucking ridiculous, but wait list for therapy. Like, you know, just like a quick little rant about like the mental health system and how it's ridiculous. And then immediately I was like, shouldn't have posted that. But people are expecting it.
Well, I mean, in one breath, you're fighting for something that you believe in and that is affecting you, and you're showing a real issue in the world.
It's vulnerable,
okay?
yeah.
You're being vulnerable, but it's also valuable. Okay, the world needs that. Okay. But at the same breath, just because you did it once doesn't mean you owe the world that content.
Yes.
Right? You
Yeah,
don't
that's
owe
true.
yourself that exposure. Like,
And I have to keep telling myself that because I
Yeah.
think that that's something that I struggle with.
Well, it's
putting up appearances.
It's putting up appearances. It's expressing rage. It's part virtue signaling. It's part a lot of things. There's a lot of things that go into a post consciously. There's a lot of factors that make you do it, that make us all do it. And sometimes it's for the right, and sometimes it does good, and sometimes it's horseshit.
Yeah.
But we all do it.
true.
But you don't. No one's owed that from you. Like, if you don't want to post about it, if you don't want to respond, you don't want to talk about it, you just want to say one thing and get it out of the way. Don't at me is a real thing, but people will still at you.
What are your thoughts?
But you just ignore them.
But what are your thoughts though on like larger content creators where they have a fan base that are relying on it? Like, let's say something happens.
Yeah. Oh, you're not entitled to their content at all.
Right, but like if something happens and you should respond to it or apologize or make a statement.
Why? Was it really bad?
Because you have fans.
Was it really bad?
I mean,
Am I apologizing to apologize, or am I apologizing because because I want to feel better, or am I apologizing because I feel true remorse? That's what's important in an apology.
Yeah, that's true.
You can apologize for something because you want to feel better about it. You can apologize because it's expected. You can apologize because you felt
or perhaps
like it was deserved.
Sometimes it's providing clarity to fans.
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. But you don't owe them that.
Yeah, and that's something I think I have
You
to
owe them
keep-
that if
keep
what you did was
remembering.
bad.
Yeah, that's true.
You owe atonement for what you did. Obviously, everyone does.
Yeah, and I felt really fucking bad last weekend when I was like not doing anything, and then I had a friend literally say that to me. You don't owe anyone anything. For what you're doing right now, you
Yeah.
do not owe.
No one pays you for this.
No
Even
one
if they
pays.
did, you don't
Yeah.
owe anyone. Like,
Yeah,
like if anyone gets paid and wants to say no, do it.
yeah. Say no.
Do it.
Yeah.
There's repercussions.
It can be also very liberating to say no to things you don't want to
saying
do.
no is huge.
It's great. It feels so great.
I've been in startup so long and in business so long that at least once a month, twice a month, someone comes to me with an idea or they're talking to me and they get excited about something I said or something they said and they're like, we should do that. And I say no.
Yeah.
I don't owe you my business expertise. I don't owe you mentorship. I don't owe you anything. And I don't owe you my assistance. And I don't owe you doing that project. I'm going to say no because there's other things in my life right now that matter to me more than what you just asked me to do. But there
Was
is...
this just like... Oh,
This
sorry.
happens all
Was
the
this in
time.
a work situation?
No,
or
this
just-
happens independently. This is
Okay.
because I've been in entrepreneurship. People come to me with an expectation of like, isn't this a great idea? Can't you help me? How about we do it together? Or they'll
Yeah.
try and build a project with me, and like I have to say no.
Right.
For my own sanity. But like there is an expectation sometimes that you say yes, and people will want you to do things. Like I know that people view mentorship as critically important right now for young men and young women, and to be mentored by someone safely in tech. And I've been asked if I would mentor people, and I've done it in the past. I don't do it anymore, and it has nothing to do with any other factor other than I don't have the fucking time, and it's
And
hard.
you've chosen to scale down your life a bit.
Oh, hugely. And I had to. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to change my lifestyle. I wanted to change how stressed I was. I wanted to change my dependence on caffeine. I wanted to change...
Did you just cut down the caffeine?
No, God, no. But I wanted to.
Yeah. We're drinking coffee right now.
Yeah. I already finished mine because I love coffee. I drink like 8 espresso a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I realized the other day that the reason I might be crashing after work and napping for 3 hours is the fucking all the Red Bull I drink throughout the day.
Yep, it is. Like, go. You can't make these shows
Your
today.
sister is the one who told me, by the way.
You can't make these shows today. But if you go back and watch Secret Eaters from the BBC, and if you watch Super Size versus Super Skinny, which is a show on the BBC. These were reality TV shows on like how people eat more than they think, and how a fat person and a super skinny person would be put together, and they'd switch diets to see how bad their diet was when someone else was exposed to it. Complete trash television, but it also worked in a couple of narratives of like, here's a super skinny person. They look and they sometimes looked very attractive, and you're like, yeah, they eat a dangerously low amount of calories, and they supplement their energy with caffeine, nicotine, all of the unhealthy things, and it's a great way to lose weight. If you want to learn how to lose weight in that healthy way, and it's not healthy, but you can use it.
Yeah.
But it also educates you a lot of the things that you're doing bad. We don't really make media that makes people feel bad anymore or feel judged anymore, because you're not really allowed to do it. Like I say, you can't make those shows today. I don't really think you could.
No.
At all. I don't think you can make Biggest Loser without pissing somebody off. Health at every size is a lie, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with body positivity. If you are like 300 pounds, you're still awesome. You're still worth it. You still have to love yourself. But there's also nothing wrong with being like, I'd rather be 250. I'd rather be 200. I don't like my love handles. I don't like...
It's like body positivity. Like there's this other side of it where people feel bad about not liking their body.
Yeah. And like skinny, like thin privilege,
that.
the concept of thin privilege, like go fuck yourself, you absolute twits.
Yeah.
Like that person has maybe a choice in their weight. Maybe not. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. There's genetics, there's diet, there's...
Sounds like that train's right here.
Yeah.
It's never really been that loud. Hopefully no one's on the track.
But you should still, like, love yourself. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, when I was 240, 250 pounds, I still loved who I was. I just also realized that it was, you know, life is like a box of chocolates. Mm-hmm. It's shorter if you're fat. It lasts way less if you're fat. How many fucking 90-year-old 300-pounders do you see walking around? You see none.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. And I didn't want to be that guy anymore, so I lost the weight. But I loved myself the whole way through. I was worth it the whole way through.
That's so important, is to love yourself at any size.
But to also accept the fact that
it's okay to
also have an issue.
Yeah.
Like, body positivity is not just for big people. It's for, you know, amputees, disabled people, regular people, like anything you have wrong with yourself. Yeah. Feel good about who you are and know that it's still going to be probably someone's thing, and they're going to be cool with it. They're going to love it, and they're going to think it's great. It's going to be your thing. You love it. But, yeah, accept that there's limitations to it all. Like...
And confidence is a fucking journey.
Health at every size is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no.
It's when a community goes toxic and starts... It's anti-vax for fat people.
Yeah.
It's anti-vax for fat people. And I don't like anti-vax. I don't like... Like, I love the fact that Nike made the big girl model mannequin. I think that's great because you know what? Big people do work out. I have workout clothing when I was 250 pounds, and there is no mannequin for that. But I don't like fat models. I don't get it. Like, I don't get the celebration of it. I like the fact they exist. I think everyone should be represented. But like the championing nature of it, the health at every size nature of it that brings in, and the don't talk about fat being bad nature. That's terrifying groupthink that I am concerned about because like I think it's Tess Munster. Like, I'm super glad she has a career. I'm super glad there's representation at that size. I'm super glad about all those things. But please do not champion that.
Yeah,
that is dangerous.
That's fair.
It is. And I'm not saying we should champion super skinny either. Fuck.
No.
But I am saying that, like, you need to recognize that there's downsides and you have to talk about them and you have to be okay about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, representations are the fucking best. Like, I love that big girl. Fucking. That's a thick mannequin. It's a thick mannequin. 2 C's.
2 C's.
And that's great. Because we all work out. We all should work out. We should all feel encouraged. We should all feel represented in that.
That's true.
I say as a white guy. Sorry.
Did losing the weight for you make you more confident?
I don't know yet. I think things get easier.
I was just curious
because things get easier when you're pretty.
Confidence is such an interesting thing where I've always thought so much of my confidence comes from how I look. And I started realizing, like, oh my God, there's so much that goes into it.
Confidence,
so much that goes into
confidence is a complex beast. Okay,
so
it
complex.
Is your height, your weight, your intelligence, your job, all the factors that make you. Your damage and your positivity too. I feel good about some of my damage. There's things I can handle. There's a lot that goes into it, but there's a few things that make you more confident. I will also say that the world is easier if you're pretty. Yeah, it is. It just is.
It is.
People will talk to you. People will smile more. Good-looking people make more money. Tall people make more money. Like, there is a direct correlation to those things. And if you want those advantages, some people are blessed with them. Some people are not. Some people work
Some
for
people work for, yeah, exactly.
There's a reason you contour. Come at me. Come at me.
Also a great title.
Don't think you're buff because you're wearing contour, but I'm still going to appreciate...
Contour makes you look skinnier.
Yeah, I used to subscribe to a makeup enthusiast subreddit, so I would know what women were trying to achieve with their makeup, so I could compliment the feature, not the makeup. Because I'm a sociopath.
No, you're just, what's the word?
Thoughtful? I think it's thoughtful. I want to know why you worked so hard and what it did. And if it did it, good job.
In closing out this episode, would you be brave enough to name, we keep talking about our damages and stuff, would you be confident to name yours?
God, no. That's my business.
None?
None. I've got huge issues. You want them? Go listen to the other episodes.
That's true.
But
like, I guess what I'm asking
is a better question, what am I working on right now?
Yeah. Or, like, is there anything that you think you've, and I think we've talked about this before, actually, now that I'm realizing it, seen as what one might think as an issue that you've just been like, no, this is just part of who I am.
Caffeine and nicotine consumption.
Yeah. You're just always gonna.
I will probably quit nicotine again. It serves a purpose right now. It's an appetite suppressant. So
you're back smoking?
No, Jewel.
How long have you not been smoking?
I haven't had a cigarette in a while, but I have nicotine.
Right.
And I love nicotine.
Yeah.
It's a short-term memory increaser. It encourages feelings of euphoria. It is an appetite suppressant. It is like something that keeps you awake. I enjoy it. I recognize there's health issues, and so I'll probably stop someday, but I'm probably not going to stop in a diet.
Is the Julian better, though?
Way better.
Yeah, then
way better. No, we don't know what the downside is, so... Okay, that's up in the air, but I can tell you that I can smoke 2 Juul pods a day if I really wanted to, and I can still go up a flight of stairs. Not true on 2 packs.
Right.
There are significant... The only problem is this is way more addictive because there's less immediate downsides.
Right.
Right? Like, you stop smoking because you'll cough.
Or you'll get
There is very little cough with this, okay?
Yeah, it's
You'll
smooth.
get winded. You'll notice that you smell.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist with Juul, so there's less things deterring you from doing it.
Right.
So I'll work on that.
And no desire to date. You're just going to stay the course.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no problem with it. If I met somebody tomorrow and it kicked off, sure. I'll still see people I like. I'll still flirt. I'll still date. I'll still have sex. But like, I'm not actively engaged in it. Like, the most I'll do is swipe on Tinder, and if I don't see anything I like...
Oh, you're on the Tinders!
Yeah, if I don't see anything I like, I don't care.
I recently got, like, someone on Instagram, like, called me out, like, because I posted a screenshot of a profile, and he said something like, oh, I haven't seen you on there, and I was like, no, honestly, like, I go through phases with it where I'll spend a couple days on it, and then I literally won't be on the app for another 3 weeks.
That's
and he's like, oh, no, that's what we all say, and I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I don't consistently use it.
It's what we all say because we're all doing it.
Yeah, I don't consistently use the app. The people who every day are on it consistently, I just don't, that's not me.
Yeah.
It's not my priority.
It also it has created a culture of foodie calls, the new foodie call.
Oh, girls going on dates for free meals? Yeah, that's
when a guy did it, you got jail time. There's more to that story, but fuck you. But yeah, like, there are girls that, like, I've known girls that have guys marked in their phone as free dinner.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, we all do it.
But isn't it more likely now with dating, and I don't know because I don't date a lot, but isn't it more likely now that people split bills? Isn't that more of a norm now? Or is that not really? I don't really know.
When the fuck was the last date I went on? I pay always.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised, and also I have money.
Yeah.
I pay always.
So do you know when you're the free meal or when you're the...
Do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to the fucking date.
Good, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
That's also, like, that goes to like friend zone shit too. Like, there's a lot of guys that are bitching about that, and it's like, yeah, but like, it's not really a date. But then again, there's a lot of girls that know that the guy is thinking it's a date and still doesn't do anything to change the pattern, right? Like, you know the guy thinks.
You know what's a simple solution to this? clarify if it's a date or not. Like,
Yeah.
literally ask.
Yeah. But also, like,
But
people,
we're free to
we
ask.
don't like that.
Yeah.
People don't like, the same is like, yeah, consent is amazing, but like nothing kills a mood more than can I kiss you?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And it's like, and that's coming from all the girls I know that have said that to me. It's like, I have asked that, and they're like, it kind of ruins the mood. And I'm just like, yes, it does. Thank you. But yes, sometimes for certain acts, absolutely you need it. But like, there is a line to which we want things unspoken and a line which we want them completely spoken.
Yeah.
And we all do our job to blur that.
Yeah.
But like, no, not right now. I'm mostly fine with myself. I'm not doing anything stupid that I shouldn't do. Like, I'm not drinking. I'm not.
And you've been off the booze for a while.
Yeah, there's relapses, but like,
But you've been pretty good at it.
I look at like, there's a lot of thinking in like in AA and programs like that. Like it's a 100% absolution, and you only count the like consistent time. If you do that, it's way more demoralizing because it acts like drunk time negates and removes all sober time. Like, I know people that feel bad because they drank once in a year, and that's a huge failure. And it is a failure in sobriety, but you were sober 364
Yeah, seriously
days.
though. Yeah.
As long
For
as you
real.
didn't do anything horrible, you kind of get a pass from me. And it's like, I think you should count
Yeah.
like all of it.
Yeah, we're like,
but
people
yeah,
are
no.
way too hard on themselves.
If you do the math, like, I've been sober for a very long time now.
Good on ya.
There have been absolute relapses. There have been shitty things done, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, that's it. Apparently everyone I know, because it's funny, because you think no one does it this bad, and then you actually talk to all your friends, and yeah, your friends are shitty. Your friends
Yeah.
have all done something horrible.
Oh yeah, we're all
Let that
terrible.
sink in.
We're all
Everyone's
terrible.
horrible.
We're
Some
all-
people are more horrible than others,
Yeah,
but everybody
Most.
knows someone that probably shouldn't be drinking anymore.
it's true. Yeah.
Other than that, it's just weight loss and not eating shitty and staying motivated. And
Are you
taking
having
the meds
fun in
and-
life? Are you having any fun?
I love what I do. I love my life.
Yeah, that's good.
I deal with awesome clients that I love. I make a good pay. I get to work out when I want. I watch what I want. I see friends when I want. I go out to dinner with people when I want. I don't have anyone particularly held up special other than others, but that doesn't really matter to me because there's just a lot going on that's fun. I will never agree with the whole like philosophy of guys going their own way, like MGTOW or whatever on the internet, or any of that, where it's like, oh, women are bad, we don't date them, it's horrible, male isolation. It's like, no, that's not what this is. I just don't care right now.
Yeah.
Like, someone made a comment to me the other day, I hope you're not an incel, and I was just like, it's really hard to be an incel when you love people. Like, all people. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care if you're male, female, you're gonna be great, let's hang out, let's go have dinner, let's go get a coffee, let's do whatever fun activity there is. I'm not gonna isolate people out of my life because they have a gender, or they're different from me, or they're the same
Yeah.
as me. Like, that's stupid, but I will admit that for certain categories, I'm just not looking, and there's like application box isn't open. The application box exists, and if you can talk me into it, sure.
But
Or if it seems like a truly good fit.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it's like I'm not looking for it. My life's fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, man. Dang.
Bye,
Well,
folks.
that's a good note to end it on. Thank you so much, Finley, for coming on. I really super appreciate it because I was kind of in the shitter this weekend for an episode, and
It's all good.
And you wanted to do one anyway. We were going to eventually, so I'm glad it happened. And it's always nice catching up with you. How many have we counted? How
Like
many
6 or
episodes?
7.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I honestly think you
you're
should
a
take the
regular.
really long ones and you should cut them into 2 and use them as placeholder episodes.
Oh, I could probably do that. Maybe.
Excess content.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Ways to always looking out for me.
Yeah.
But thanks so much, Finley. And you've done it a couple times tonight. You get to end the episode with a bell ring.
This is why I'm going to make you a soundboard.
Yes, we need a soundboard.